conditions on the ground. Those are valid questions, and that debate is on its place. But under the glare of the international stage, with the biggest economies here in our country, logistically, we've pulled it off. And in terms of leadership, South Africa has stood tall, in my opinion.
And you know what's the interesting part of this, Molana, is that when you look at the consensus, I want to bring in two major powers, those who sit in the UN Security Council, the United Kingdom and France. I thought that there was going to be a little bit of contestation there from Keir Starmer and Emmanuel Macron respectively. But it seems quite evident that, according to President Cyril Ramaphosa, a unanimous decision from the nations, which means the UK and France are looking at the global south and thinking they've got a strategic partner. The caveat to that, from my point of view, Molana, is that the global north needs to play a part in allowing the global south to have more decision making in terms of geopolitics and also economics.
Look, on the apparent, on the face of it, it's looking decent, right? But remember, there's no formal, there's no formality, there's no legal binding to this declaration. So it leaves a lot of room for backroom deals. And for me, the great concern is this: that can the global south remain united? You've got two phenomena here. One is Trump, who is levying tariffs left, right, and center, right? The other, you've got China flooding the market left, right, and center. My fear is it should not be in the background between summits where the actual work takes place, you know, that each country from the global south starts to negotiate what they feel is in their best interests, rather than staying as a bloc and negotiating in the interests of the global south and in the interests of countries as a whole, the globe as a whole. Because if you want to break this hegemony and this domination of what you want to call the global north or Western powers, then you're already on the back foot, because they enjoy political and economic supremacy. That's why Trump can throw his toys out of the cot, and we have to respond quite respectfully, right? And his spokesperson can say to a president that you're running your mouth, and there's no diplomatic repercussion. Imagine if it was the other way around. If Vincent Magwena had to say that Trump was running his mouth, right? So there is this hegemony, which is the reality. If to break that hegemony, you need to remain united. And I think that's the unity that I'm looking at. The unity of the global south as a bloc, one. The unity of the Muslim countries within the global south. Those who have permanent member status and those who don't. And even countries like Nigeria, who have significant populations, that there's a lot to negotiate for Muslims. I mean, just look at the halal economy, right? Look at the curse of Islam, or the scourge of Islamophobia. Will they remain united as a bloc and push and say we are 2 billion and counting, right? See us as commerce, not as culture. See us as 1/3 almost of humanity. Or will they again negotiate individually?
Molana, we have to stop you there. I hope you speak to you more. There's so much to speak to you, Molana. So inshallah, we hope to have you again tomorrow. As always, an absolute pleasure.
Inshallah.
Assalamu
alaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
That's Molana Suleiman Rawat, who's going ahead. That's Molana Suleiman Rawat just going ahead and giving us the final comments for today. That's all we have for you on day one of Mzansi welcomes the world of the G20 Leader Summit from Nasrec in Johannesburg. First of all, we'd like to thank our spectacular technical team for pulling this through. They know who they are. Our post-production team, our guest relations, our production managers, social media also for coming to the party, and of course Dr. Imran Burkus, our lead analyst. We'll see you again tomorrow at 10 o'clock to wrap up this historic G20 summit. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.